Welcome, welcome, welcome. You're in the right place at the right time. It must be Tuesday at 5 o'clock because we're here at the Ask Dr. Ron Facebook Live. And we welcome you all. Boy, we got a really good show today. I am so excited. We have the legendary Dr. Sunni on the show today, and she's going to be helping us out with all of this illness that's floating around in the air. She's going to be helping us out trying to stay alive during this time when things are going on that's a little bit crazy. So I'm so excited to have her on the show today. And I'm going to get to my announcements so we can bring her live on the air so we can get all the information out of her that we possibly can. All right, so first of all, I want to give a couple of shout outs. I want to give a shout out to all of the healthcare workers all around the world. And I know that it's a very difficult time because the corona is on the rise, as well as all of the other illnesses that come seasonal. And the healthcare workers are extremely overwhelmed. I just like to give them a shout out at the top of every show. And let them know that the reason why I wear this shirt is in solidarity to all the healthcare workers. All the healthcare workers that are out there, we keep you lifted up. We salute you. We keep you encouraged. We pray for you. You know, we want you to stay on the job. I was looking at something a little while ago that they were saying that they were having difficulty keeping respiratory technicians. You know, they were overwhelmed, and they just don't have enough of them to go around with all of the people that are sick right now all across the country. So it's an epidemic right now of healthcare workers in the area of respiratory technicians. So if you know somebody that's retired in that area, tell them it's a good time to come out of retirement. Second of all, I'd like to give a shout out to all of the pastors that are on the front line. That are praying for us, that are trying to keep us uplifted, keep us motivated at a time like this, because this is not like anything anybody has ever seen before. And, pastors have a hard job of keeping us spiritually uplifted, keeping us motivated, keeping us informed on what God is doing at a time like this. And I tell you, I am so glad to have a mentor like Lord Michael Hunt. Dr. Hunt has been teaching each and every day since the pandemic started back in March. And he has been teaching every day, trying to keep us informed on what's going on. If you have never heard of Dr. Hunt before, scroll down on my live feed. You'll see some of his videos. You'll see some of his messages. I repost many of them so that people can have an awareness of who he is and listen to some of the things that he's talking about. They are very encouraging at a time like this. Also, I want to give a shout out to all of the people that have lost loved ones at a time like this. Let you know that we are praying for you. This is a very difficult time because you're not able to say goodbye to your loved ones the way you would like to. I know a lot of times we like to have big celebrations to honor the people that have been in our lives. And because of the pandemic, those things are not available at the moment. So just keep them alive in your heart. Many of us have lost loved ones. Many of us have, all through this pandemic, we have been losing people. And it's just, we have not been able to celebrate them like the way we would like to. I just ran across some news across my desk today. They were talking about the former mayor of the first black mayor, or the mayor of color for New York City, Mr. David Dinkins. He passed away at the age of 93. We want to give a shout out to his family, let them know that we're praying and keeping them uplifted at a time like this. Also want to give some numbers. As reported by John Hopkins, we got 12,518,000 cases of corona in the United States. We are now up to 259,000 cases of people dying from corona in the United States. So this corona is still for real. This pandemic is still for real. It's not going anywhere. People are dying every day. We have to do what we have to do, and we're going to get some good advice today from Dr. Sunni on what to do that we can do to try and help stay alive. But 12 million, 12 million. I looked today, I saw on the news that the number 45 was out playing golf, while folks are getting sick and dying. That's his level of concern for this pandemic. And I don't know what that says to you, but I think that's disgraceful, that folks on your watch have gotten sick to the tune of almost 260,000 people. And, you out playing golf. I don't know. All I can do is shake my head on that. So what we're going to do, we're going to go further in the show. The first thing that you're going to hear is you're going to hear my theme song. And then immediately after that, we're going to talk about some of the sponsors that are on my website. And then we're going to go over further in the show even after that. So you all stand by. The first thing you're going to hear is my theme song.
Ask Dr. Ron, ask Dr. Ron. Whatever you're feeling, he will give you healing, he'll inform you. Ask Dr. Ron, ask Dr. Ron. Entertaining news, political issues, local and globally.
All right, I want to invite you to go over to my website, ask-dr-ron.com. That's askdrron.com. And when you get over there, I want you to take a look at some of the information that's listed on the website. It's some very good information that everybody needs to know. And I want you to scroll down, and you'll have an opportunity to you'll get a chance to run into all of my advertisers, okay? And when you get to the advertisers, you'll see National Block Club University. Now, this is an organization that has been around for many, many years, 20 years, Mr. Cyron Smith. And what they have been doing is block by block all across the country. They have been working with people to keep our children safe, to keep our seniors safe. He also works with people to be able to put plans in place to do report cards on their neighborhood and what they can do to help improve what's going on in their neighborhood. So if you click on the banner that says National Block Club University, it'll take you right over to his website. You can reach out to them and tell them that you're interested in finding out what you can do to make your community and your neighborhood safe. Also, you'll find Chief Nomo's Oasis. Now, Chief Nomo goes to the continent of Africa, Ghana, and he brings back oils, soaps, clothing, moringa seeds. He brings them back from the west coast of Africa. And he does consultations as well on how to try and help keep you safe, during this time of pandemic. He also has alkaline water. If you talk to Chief Nomo about alkaline water, he will be more than happy to tell you how alkaline water can help build your immune system and help keep you safe at a time like this. Also, you can find RRJ Web. Now, RRJ Web, they can help build any type of web solutions that you're interested in. RRJ Web If you have an idea or a concept, Ralph Jenkins can help bring it to the World Wide Web. He does hosting, maintenance, web designs, all sorts of web hosting. So you need to click on the banner. It'll take you over to his website, and he will be more than happy to give you a consultation on what it's going to take in order to help get your idea out there on the World Wide Web. All right. We also have Prince Hunter Financial Group. If you're interested in learning about how to navigate the stock market, financial markets, Forex, get in contact with Prince Hunter Group. Tell him you want your free lesson. He will give you a free consultation, and he can teach you how to develop your skills so that you know what you're doing when you start investing in the stock market. So that's the Prince Hunter Financial Group. Reach out to him, and he will be more than happy to give you your free consultation. And last but not least, Port Again Sam. Port Again Sam, I've been with him for 20 years. He brings in wines and spirits from all over the world, and he brings them right here into our neighborhood. And he has the best, I tell you, the best cognacs, the best wines. If you like exclusive items, Port Again Sam is the person you want to talk to. You can reach out to him by clicking on the banner, go to his website. You can request a wine tasting. If you like sweet, if you like dry, if you like semi-dry, he's got it all. Sam is the best. And I know when I last talked to him, he was bringing in his holiday specials. He had some items that were coming in, and he was looking forward to presenting them to the public. So I tell you, Port Again Sam. It's the holiday season. We got to be sitting at home. You might as well have something to sit at home and enjoy. So Port Again Sam, click on the banner. It'll take you right over to the website. Also, I want you to check out some of our affiliates. Chicago Communicator News Media is one of our news affiliates. So click on the banner. It'll take you over to their website, and you'll get a chance to talk to them or see them and all of the news that's going on in the neighborhood in Chicago. I am so excited today. We have our guest coming on to talk with us. Dr. Sunni has been educating and has been doing her very best to keep us informed on what to do to keep us healthy. When I first met Dr. Sunni, she was doing a seminar, and she's always doing a seminar on some products. I want to say CBD oils and some other things that I can't even think of a brand that she does not have available. She works with everybody, and if it's good, she'll let you know, oh, try this or do this. And I am so excited to help bring her to the show today. Dr. Sunni, how you doing?
Great evening. I muted myself like you told me to. I try to be obedient.
Uh-oh. Watch out now. Obedience will get you everywhere.
It's better than sacrifice.
That's right. That's right. So welcome to the show.
And thank you for inviting me.
Yes, yes. We're in a pandemic, and I know this is crucial and serious times. And first of all, people don't believe that, the illness is as dangerous as it is. But just like I quoted in the early part of the show, we got 260, close to 260,000 people that have died since the beginning of this year. And we got 12 million people right now that are, have been confirmed with this virus. And according to statistics, they are saying, notice I use the word they are saying that 5% of the people that contract this can possibly die. So I know this is one of the most popular questions that people ask you, but what can you advise us and instruct us to do to try and survive what's happening in front of us right now?
So, first of all, I want to make my disclaimer. I am not a medical doctor. I am not a national certified scientist or researcher of diseases. But what I am is a licensed and ordained minister in the gospel. I am an educator of 43 to 45 years, dealing with elementary and now high school. High school. I've worked with youth at risk for the last maybe 10 years, 17 or 21. I'm a certified trauma specialist, suicide prevention specialist. I have several degrees in natural medicine, iridology, all kinds of energy practices. And so that's where I put my attention. I don't focus on pathogens and diseases. That is the medical doctor that does that.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes when I speak, some people are not really happy with how I respond because, first of all, I stand on God's word.
Mm-hmm. Amen.
And so, something that we could all do if we are believers is to know, like Psalm 91 tells us, 1 through 10, you read that you can have pestilence and plagues come all over you, but when you stand on his word and believe, speak it, place it in your heart, and let roots grow in the trees of your body, then all of that will pass by you. The other thing that he always says is, first of all, we know that in the beginning was the word, and then the word was made flesh. And so that means that it has some type of natural presence. And he talked about, I think it
Mm-hmm.
was in Exodus 15 and 26, that if we would stay true to his statutes, his commandments, principles, then none of these diseases that he placed on the Egyptians, because they were disobedient, then it would
Mm-hmm.
not come nigh you. I believe that with all my heart, with all my spirit. Then the second thing that I talk about is that he gave me a natural body. I am enclosed in this natural body, and he gave me dominion over it and asked me to take care of it as because he dwells within it. Okay, it's just like
Mm-hmm.
if I knew that Jesus was coming to my house for dinner in 2 days to sit with me as I give thanks for how I am, whether I'm, my ills, my shortcomings, as well as my successes, then I would make my house immaculate. I would attempt to do that,
Mm-hmm.
right? So this body, this vessel, I think Romans 12 and 1 says, present the body, says, beloved, behold, present this body holy and acceptable, okay, which is our reasonable, which, in other words, that's the least I could do to present it.
Mm-hmm.
Then he says, once I do that, then there's something about the renewing of my mind that will take place
Mm-hmm.
and it will transform. I will not be conformed by this world, all them statistics you just named, but I will be transformed by the renewing of my mind. So I think differently. When you change how you think about things, the things around you change.
Mm-hmm.
That's now proven through epigenetics, which is a quantum physics concept that lots of medical doctors, I believe I met him at a conference in Florida, Dr. Bruce Lipton. He was one of the speakers. I was a speaker. He was a speaker. And he was talking about they now understand that as you think, just like the scripture says, as a man thinketh where? In his heart. So the heart is a thinker. And I can show you that physically, as well as emotionally, as well as mentally, as well as spiritually. Then you can change the elements of your DNA.
Mm-hmm.
They now show you that, okay? So that means I got to think differently. But then the other thing we have to do is understand the workings. I think it's Psalm 139 and 14 that says, I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are these works.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And something about the soul in me, that presence of God in me knows right well. So I have to reconnect to it and start following what will help this body begin to change its vibrational frequency, because we are just a conglomerate of energy that has no boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
The only boundary is just what's in my head. Because if they had boundaries, then when I pray, my prayer ain't going no further than where I'm sitting. But because I can pray and I know it's a energy source that the Creator has given me, my prayer can go from here to Afghanistan.
Yep.
It has no boundaries, because energy has no boundaries. Okay, so when I start plugging into that, and then knowing that I start studying what this vessel needs, your body will begin to eradicate and get rid of those things that we have acquired, that we have succumbed to, like this virus and any other virus that came to the table, the bubonic plague, and they always say the black plague. Why do they call it the black plague? Why do they call it a purple plague? Why is everything that's got something to do with being crazy got to be black? Okay,
Uh-huh.
like devil's food cake is chocolate. I'm chocolate and I'm sweet as all get out, and I ain't got nothing about
All
the
right
devil in
now.
me.
I'm not.
Okay.
All right now.
so so when we understand our workings, I teach holistic anatomy. I am an iridologist. I can look at the components
In
of
your
your
eye.
iris, which has had
Right.
nothing to do with vision, that has recorded everything that I have done when I came out my mother's womb, that was done to me, and what I brought in through my ancestors, because electricity records it. I'm an electrical being. I'm also a being that has biochemicals from food sources. So one of the things we could do is, first of all, most of these cases probably, I'm just talking probably, is because they're underlining conditions that occurred before the virus took place in your body, and it starts
Right.
to rob you of protein. The nature of a virus. I just finished a course on viruses back in the before the announcement was made about this virus in March or whatever. That doesn't mean that it had just started. That was the announcement.
Right.
Okay, so um, the nature of a virus, it has to have a host, just like a parasite has
Mm-hmm.
to live in a host. So once I'm exposed to it through maybe some exchange, like HIV. They told us a bunch of lies about that too
Yeah,
back in
they
the day.
did.
That you could get it if I touched where you put your hand, and if
Mm-hmm.
I went to the bathroom where you sat, and all that was a lie. You
Mm-hmm.
have to exchange it through fluids,
Right.
right? So I
That's
can understand
yeah.
this distant thing for now, based on if you don't know this person has been exposed. Because if I went to work and some people had a cold in my classroom, or the flu, and I'm exchanging, because we're face to face and close, then I may be exchanging what's being transferred from my mouth. Those invisible droplets, those particles, the subatomic particles, might get within me if I'm not fortified enough, and start to rob my body, my cells, of protein, which is what a virus does. And then once that process starts happening, your immune system, if it's charged up enough, will begin to create cytokines, which can create inflammation, because inflammation burns things up. That's why inside that word is called flame. If flame is in there, that means burning up some stuff. Okay. But what it takes, if it's too long, it's going to burn up delicate tissues that don't need to be destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
This is why, people who with the radiation and chemotherapy or whatever can sometimes get rid of good stuff as well as the bad stuff. So we have
Mm-hmm.
to be very careful about that. So that virus will begin to rob you. But if I have not been eating well throughout my life, if I've taken a lot of impurities, I'm breathing, my environment is toxic, which most of an environment in the US is. I'm not making sure I'm taking care of the water source that I'm drinking, so that I got enough water. Most of us are dehydrated, so the blood plasma
Mm-hmm.
doesn't have enough water to carry the nutrients throughout the body. I'm not even getting enough nutrients, so I don't have enough protein to replace what is being robbed. And what does the scripture say? The thief comes to steal, kill, and destroy.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
And then also it says, we are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
Yep.
So that I don't know much about me and my whole workings, then I can easily succumb to things that come by me if I don't know that this could be possibly dangerous for me and it's making me vulnerable when poisons and things like that show up. 65 to 70% of our immune tissue is in our gut. There is a gut-brain axis connection. The vagus nerve connects it. The liver has to police what's going up there. This is the command center, but it's looking for what's coming through. So the reason why there's so much immune tissue in the gut is because when we're eating and taking things in, that's the passageway to get into my bloodstream. So it's there just in case some lethal pathogens come in or some potentially dangerous things come in. But if I'm full of crap, I used to tease people, you say, don't say I'm full of I said, well, maybe you might be. When did the last time you have a colonic? When did the last time you cleaned your colon? So you just might be full of Do a detox. How about that? Okay, got several people that's professional that can help you get rid of the poison in your gut so that your immune tissue, your immune cells in your gut has an opportunity to begin to signal, because through your somatic nervous system, cell-to-cell communication takes place. It's sending a signal. It's picking it up. Every breathing cycle, when you breathe in, your body, your brain is actually scanning down the body, finding out what's going on, what's happening, what y'all do, what y'all need. And then when you breathe out, the message is going back to the brain. Okay, I'm short of vitamin A. Oh, I don't have no vitamin D3. Oh, wow, my B vitamins is jacked up. I got some poison in here. Oh my gosh, she just drank so much last night. We all pickled. It's sending that message. Then the brain has to use what you put in it in order to reestablish this balance. Homeostasis is always trying to take place. So with this virus, most people that are going into the hospital, now they're asking you, please stay home. Don't even come this way unless you about to just croak at the door.
Yep.
Well, stay home and do what?
Right. You still got to treat yourself some kind of way.
Okay, give me some vitamin C. I need some elderberry. Give me some garlic. I got a little formula. I've been sharing it with people. The apple cider vinegar, raw, organic, raw honey, and 4 garlic cloves blended. Take a tablespoon or 2 tablespoons. I guarantee you, you're going to cough up phlegm that you didn't even know was there. Because everything that we take in sometimes is going to leave residue. Right. If there is an issue with your lungs and you don't want the virus to settle in, then you want your lungs to be as clear so that you can take deep breaths. Why do I want to take a deep breath? Because God offered me breath from the very beginning. Yeah. Why would I not want to take deep breaths? Why don't I want to meditate and sit still and just be quiet and be still and know that I am God? That's what the Bible says.
Yep.
So I start teaching. Do this with young people. I guarantee you, I have these little young folk, they want to be the thugs and I'm all that Doc Sunni, hey, I'm out here. Nah. Okay. In the meantime, probably most of y'all got diabetes. You got imbalances in your brain issues. They label you as hyperactive, attention deficit, all kind of stuff. Because there's a mineral deficiency that's going on. So you don't think well. So then they label you with a learning disability, partially suicidal, depression. And then somebody can feed into your subconscious some other stuff, and you're going to act like that. So I began to, just share some stuff. They always change because they're looking for somebody to guide them. We don't believe that, but when you do it, watch. They will follow you anywhere and protect you as well. So I got them drinking different water, putting down the Master Energy drinks and with Red Bull and all that old stuff that's destroying kidneys and whatnot. And I'm saying all of this to say that this virus can pass us if we take control and begin to replenish this body with the elements that God has given us. Ezekiel 47:12. That the trees and the leaves and the fruit thereof is medicine and food for us. Essential oils, they're the essence of the plant life that you can extract from it and get it into your body, and it will respond a lot faster than having to break it down, because most of our digestive systems are jacked up. They make a lot of money on disturbed digestive systems. Go to the over-the-counter, buku money. They make $250 billion on autoimmune disease because the body is now attacking itself because it's not charged up or cleaned out or detoxed enough so that it works on the foreign substances that come in and not you. And guess who is the director of the National Allergy and Infectious Disease, who promotes and sends out or is glad to have the pharmaceuticals that give you medication that really don't change your condition, but they make those billions of dollars. You know who the director of that is, right?
No, who's that?
Dr. Fauci.
Oh, okay.
Been that director since 1984. That's why the Bible says study to show yourself approved.
Okay.
Start researching some of these people and then think about, are we getting the right truth or half the truth or no truth at all?
Exactly.
So we got to begin to take control of information. Like the movie, The Enemy of the State. At the end of the movie, it showed that, what's her name? Will Smith and his lady was sitting there, and they just showed how you could, beam into your house and all of that.
Right.
And so he said, don't worry about it. It's being monitored. She said, well, who's monitoring the monitors?
Right.
So in our neighborhood, who's monitoring the information that we get?
Right.
Who's monitoring them that's giving us the information?
Yeah.
We've got to take command over this body, give it the necessary tools to help it balance itself, clean it up, and it will do what God sent for it to do while you're in this realm. It is a self-healer. And yes, in an emergency, take me to a professional who has a heart for people. Don't take me to anybody.
Right.
Take me to somebody who has a heart for people and have a compassion. So in my prayer, if that should happen, and it's happened to me twice where I had to be dependent on them because I fell and broke my ankles and tore ligaments and all of that. Then I had a blood clot. I damaged myself pretty good when I fell. But on the way there, I asked for direction. And what happened is I got in there. The little nurse, she was, may I take your name, please? I'm about to die. And she said, what's your insurance? And I said, you know what, God, this ain't right. This ain't fair. I ain't done yet. And when I looked up, they asked my son to leave the room. When I looked up, one of my best friend's daughter walked in the room. And she said, when I saw her, I knew God had answered my prayer. She dismissed the lady. She was the head nurse for the night on her way home and got redirected because she saw my son. And she said, I got this. And started working on me just like that.
All right now.
So prayers work, but you got to pray aright. And then you got to take action. Jesus told the man who had been sitting by the pool, waiting for it to stir up and waiting for somebody to push him down there. He said, man, you've been down sitting here for 38 years. Are you kidding me? Pick up your bed, take some action, pick up your bed and walk. So, it was like you would have thought he was going to get up and walk down to the pool so he can get healed. Guess what? Soon as he took action, he didn't even have to go to the pool. He went to the village and reported. It's a dude out here talking about do this, do this, do that. There's a lot of us in this field. I'm a functional medicine practitioner. I'm a doctor of natural medicine. I've studied for a long, long time. I have all different types. There's a whole bunch of us and others, nutritionists and pastors and preachers who can tell us what to do or share. Don't tell. I always, because you can tell somebody something and they're going to do what they want to do. But share, just like Yahshua did. He shared the word. He said, you can take it or leave it. And if you don't want it, keep stepping.
Right.
So reach out to some of these people, fortify our bodies. We all, as African Americans, need vitamin D3. The store should be empty of vitamin D3 in our community. We need to clean our mess up in our blood and in our colon. Don't be scared to poop.
Yeah.
Get rid of the poop.
Yeah.
Refortify. Get some probiotics so that you have friendly bacteria to overcome poisons when it comes in.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to clean out.
Nourish your immune system. You have immune cells in your mouth because it's going to come there first.
Yep, got to clean out that sewer system. Yep.
Clean out your entire body, fortify your immune system, but get rid of the issues that are actually weakening us so that the disorder and the virus can take hold to us much faster than normal. And I'm not even talking about that these numbers are correct. Maybe check them. I don't know.
Right.
You know,
You
all
notice I
this
said
thing
they
about
said.
a vaccination that's gonna come out so quick, no trials. Then they had an article in one of the newspapers, it's downstairs, saying that it would be just a shame, and more or less, if African Americans didn't set up for the clinical trials because they the ones that's dying the most.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they did that back in where was that, Alabama,
Tuskegee, Alabama.
Tuskegee, and killed up some brothers.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Volunteered to be a clinical trial. Okay, sometimes
Experiments.
pay
Yep.
attention to what they're asking and who they're asking,
Right. That's
but
right.
get some wisdom. And after getting the wisdom, get some understanding about what you've researched. Okay, we should become just advocates for reading and teach our young people, train them up. Scripture
Yes.
says, train them up, they won't fall far. They don't fall, I fell. But somebody picked me up and carried me further on. And then now I'm doing the same. And that's with my body, with the understanding about what's going on in my community. You just mentioned a few people who can help us with finances. We need to be retaught how to be the head and not the tail.
Exactly. Yep.
This is wealth transfer time. It is
Yes.
time to take over. And
Yes.
if we have to, take it by force.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
But know your body.
Yep.
Know what we have available around us as natural resources, as well as should you have to use what they have in the system that's set aside for us in an emergency. But for chronic illnesses and long illnesses that we've had over the years, no, we need to take care of it ourselves.
Yep.
Family to family, friend to friend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Look, you said a whole mouthful.
Let's see.
Yeah.
And my seminar that's coming up, I'll
Uh-huh.
share it with you because I'm going to share even more than that. Because
Okay.
it's time to begin to get out here and pass the word on, because we can make it just like Jesus. This thing can go away in a twinkling of an eye. The
Mm-hmm.
death angel could pass us by and keep it moving.
Yep. That's
Stand
exactly
on
right.
his word, period, the end. Ain't no but they said, no, ain't no, was God said that? If that's not what he said, don't tell me what they said.
So
I don't want to know.
I want to reiterate and have you reiterate. One of our biggest problems, people of color, would you say, is what we eat and how we eat?
Oh, of course. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
your cells, every 100 trillion of them, is looking for basic nutrients, carbohydrates, protein, good protein, not a whole bunch of fatty meat and all of that. Okay. And if you are a meat eater, be a wise one. Know where you're getting it from. You know what I'm saying? You have to be grass fed or whatever. You can go. If I do take any meat in at all, I'm going to the Amish community or whatever. I'm not buying just anything. In our communities where there's food deserts, when we get hold of some food, it's garbage food,
Mm-hmm.
full of parasites and everything else. But we're looking for good carbohydrates. Understand, we have a issue with excessive sugar. So I teach about the different sugars that we have to be aware of that's in our food. Read the labels. That's why you got to read, learn how to read. Okay. We need essential fatty acids because the brain needs it. You need it for body temperature. You need it for cellular protection and all of that. Okay. We need plenty of water. We need good exercise and movement. And then we need to rest
Mm-hmm.
and plug in, reconnect to the essence of who we are. So, yes, the diet, in fact, the American Heart Association, if you go research their material, and then they promote medication and pharmaceuticals, but the first thing on their list is diet. Second
Mm-hmm.
thing on their list is exercise, lifestyle. Then they bring in the pharmaceuticals, but they know that you need to change your diet. We can get rid of hypertension. It is
Mm-hmm.
a complicated issue, but that means we got several different organs that are involved because we are not eating correctly, and we put in a lot of stress, and we have that what they call HPA, hypothalamus pituitary adrenal axis, which is creating a lot of cortisol, tightening up those arteries because we're stressed out because we don't have enough, we don't think it's enough, we've got the wrong thought. There's an unlimited resources of everything. God don't have no shortages. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So then the diet, drinking good, clean water, water that will change the pH nature in our body so we don't have all this acid sitting in our system, hardening us up. And then, of course, man, we need to just move. Get up mini trampoline, move around the house, walk up and down the stairs, go outside, walk around the building. And another thing that I can't stand for people to think that a virus is sitting outside waiting for you to walk out the door and jump on you. Come on, man. It does not have that nature. It has to have a host to transfer into you
Right.
through the fluid. And it don't linger outside just kind of just hesitating in the air. Don't do that.
Uh-huh.
But that's because we don't know and we don't study and we don't back up what somebody is telling us to make us
Mm-hmm.
believe we need to be locked up. We are social beings.
Mm-hmm.
When they first started talking about social distancing, 6 feet apart, I started thinking about that's like telling me to be 6 feet under.
Mm.
Hello?
Wow.
What's the difference?
Mm.
Because without touch, I'm a quantum touch therapist. Without touch, babies, for sure. I work with babies 0 to 3 years old with an organization that would come into the community and get these young children that, maybe was born because of the drug use of their mom and dad or
Right.
whatever. And if they're not touched properly, okay, and I said properly,
Right.
okay, failure to thrive, they will die or they won't grow. We have to touch. I come from a hugging church. I
Okay.
come from a church that wants to communicate with each other through touch, appropriate touch.
Mm-hmm.
We have sensory nerves all over our body. Why would we have them if God didn't want us to touch each other?
Mm. All right now.
Why would God create an immune system that ain't going to work? I don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
And I get real riled up because it's like, come on, people, study, know God, ain't going to make no junk.
Right. That's right. Yeah, look, you are definitely putting it all out there in a mouthful, I tell you. Um, Understanding that people of color have uphill climbs more than most because of what we have been dealt as far as a hand is of understanding of different things, or should I say lack of understanding. So trying to get people to realize that, like you just said a little while ago about meat, everybody feel like they gotta have their meat, but then like you said, it makes a difference of what type of meat, and I've seen many videos on YouTube where they set a piece of meat on the counter and all of a sudden things start crawling out of it. Start
I
starts.
did that at a workshop at the
Yeah.
schools. I was doing nutritional workshops with the child parent centers for CPS when I came out the classroom. And we did that experiment at one of the schools, William Elementary, down on right there in the midst of Dearborn Homes. And we did that for the parents, and they could not believe it. And they were like, oh, so we had a lot of parents change what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
If you help people understand something, they will begin to, utilize what you're teaching them and begin to do it. And then once they have the experience, we call it experiential learning. When I work with young people, we took some kids to Canada and to Detroit, through Detroit up to Canada. And that experiential situation, we showed them the, where they took the enslaved individuals from the United States into Canada for freedom.
Right.
We took them through that whole process. It changed how they began to see themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a lot of behavior change based on that. So when I did the parent workshops, we had some behavior changes. They started reading the boxes, stopped giving them kids so much sugar-laden cereals and things of that nature. And I have some parents right now who are working with me with the essential oils and talking about nutrition because of that particular experience. I was in a crowd doing a seminar. The lady came up. She said, "I remember you because you came to my school and taught us how to eat right." I was like, "Wow!"
Mm-hmm.
So you drop a seed, you don't know who it's going to affect, because that ain't my job. I'm just supposed to drop the seed.
Mm-hmm.
Then the people who get the seed waters the seed,
Right.
begins to nourish the seed. So be a wise meat eater. If you're going to be a meat eater, you don't have to eat meat every single day.
Right.
Make sure you're incorporating fish. I follow a Mediterranean diet a lot because we need those oils. We're deficient in a lot of things. So I do several assessments that can show scan body scanner that can show where your your shortages are. And then I also do an iridology reading that can show me what you brought in, where you started when you were a baby up to right now. And then we can begin to create a protocol to get you going, and then set up the nutritional plan necessary for your body, because everybody that's got diabetes don't have it for the same reason.
Right. So so
So
so
you
so
can't just
explain
go,
about
well, everybody takes so and so. No, I don't know. You might not need that.
yeah, explain what iridology is. I know it's a test where you look at the both eyes, left and right. So you explain it.
It's an assessment. Your iris records all the information that your body is going through and what you acquired genetically through the electrical impulses that places that information like a blueprint in your iris. Your iris are what they call trabeculae, or the older term was nerve filaments. So we have a lot of electrical nerve energy that picks up information through your somatic nervous system. You're okay. And so it records it there. And then the iridologist can look at it like a clock and a map, or with zones, like we have zip codes and zones where we live.
Mm-hmm.
And then we can see based on color, based on spaces, what's happening from top to bottom. Like I look at it like a clock. So from 3 o'clock to 9 o'clock, I'm looking at everything straight across from the waist up, and then from there the waist down. 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock, everything from the brain. From 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock, brain activity. Going down, legs, everything that's by my legs, my feet, my ankles. And then as you go out the peripheral area of the body, you start seeing other things. The condition of the liver, or where the liver is right now, as far as its health, its constitution. Is it strong? Is it weak? And so an iridology reading, which I started learning back in the 80s with a sister that had a space on the south side of Chicago. She was seeing people all day long in her house. Then she got a building down the road. But that was the Sierra June, one of the most, efficient iridologies in the Midwest. And then I started studying with Bernard Jensen, a doctor out of California. And from him, I started doing more. I wound up with a camera, because you could do it with a pen light and a magnifying glass and a piece of colored pencil and a map. But then when I got the camera, I was doing that, traveled all over with a company as a medical advisor with a company called Nature's Sunshine, not Nature's Sunshine, Nature's Option. But I used Nature's Sunshine to clean people's colon out at that particular time.
Right.
And then now I went back, and because like continuing education, with an educator, you go back and you get some more because things change. And I went back under Dr. David Pesic out of North Carolina, and now I have a diplomat degree in iridology. So it is a real nice assessment, and it pinpoints what's going on with you, as opposed to a general statement that everybody falls under most times with certain practitioners or whatever. And so I don't help you with a protocol based on there's a general thing about this particular herb will help with so and so. Well, it might not help you. What is going on with you? And iridology will show me that, and then we can do a specific target on how to help your body get back into balance. That's what the whole CBD issue is. It helps with homeostasis. Dr. David Allen started talking about it, teaching it, saying that, hey, he was a cardiologist. He was like, this is something that we should have been talking about, because the essence of it actually begins to restructure the disharmony in your body and allows all your major receptors and all your major organs line up and agree once you bring in the other stuff. So now all of a sudden, something that was labeled a drug now is okay.
Right. So
because
now,
somebody decided they're gonna make millions and millions of dollars.
right, yeah.
So why not me? Because
Right.
I know all about it. I know all about the endocannabinoid system. I know all about it. I went and got a certificate at Governor State about how you can begin to help organizations, lighten the blow on people that worked who might over the weekend smoke them some medical marijuana.
Say
You're sick.
might have over the weekend.
Might have, you see. Then he got to go to work
So,
Monday and go do
right,
a drug test. He's like, you use a drug?
right,
No, they said I could smoke if I was at home.
right, right, right.
They didn't say once I came to work that I was gonna have a problem.
Right, 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 right. So now,
So anyway,
so
that's
now,
a whole seminar by itself.
right. So now, with your extremely busy schedule, do you still do iridology?
Are you kidding me? That's my main source of putting a protocol together.
Okay. So what is normally a? Because I'm gonna sign up and come get analyzed. So what does it cost to get an evaluation?
$80.
$80. You
Yes.
take link card?
A who? Boy, get out of here. The only link I got going on is the Zoom link that you can get on and come to a seminar. And before I stop eating pork, a hot link. That was it.
Okay. I was just checking because first is around the corner. I was like, can I come with my link card? No. But I would encourage each and every person to reach out to Dr. Sunni. As you can see, she is a wealth of knowledge, and she is very inspirational. I've seen Dr. Sunni on many occasions be an inspiration to many people. And as you can see on the screen, her number is there, 312-843-2566. And you can call her up and make an appointment to try and sit down and get a personal consultation with her. And I'm sure you will not be the same once you have that consultation. Dr. Sunni will mess you up, okay, but in a good way, okay? You will not leave out of a consultation with her the same way. And if you do, something wrong with you. I'm just going to say it like that, because it's an opportunity to improve your quality of life and to extend life. Because when you know better, you're going to do better. That's what you're supposed to do. So what are some of the things?
I teach classes,
Go ahead.
Dr. Ron, that really helps people get an understanding about some of the things, because I also do some energy modalities that makes the body shift, through the tapping, but I do that as well. But I teach holistic anatomy. My class is way different than any class you've ever taken about learning about self. Okay, I did it in the schools, but I did it also outside of the school, where you understand your connection between your spiritual self, spirituality, mental, emotional, and physical. And once they come into agreement, it's over.
Mm-hmm.
It is over.
Right.
And your body will do the rest. The spirit in you through your pineal gland will do the rest.
Mm-hmm. And that's what it's supposed to do, because like you said earlier, we perish for lack of knowledge. So when we know better.
No, we don't perish for lack of knowledge.
Uh-huh.
We are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
Okay.
That's what the scripture said.
All
we
right.
perish without a vision.
Right. We perish without a vision.
And I don't care what Bible you pick up. If you read that, Hosea, if you read it, it does not say perish. It says destroyed. Every single Bible. I don't care. Amplified, New King,
Okay.
International.
All right. I ain't argue
Because
with
it's really key to understand that. Because there's a difference between destroyed and perished.
Right. I got you.
So we got to be firm, because we want people to be rooted
Mm-hmm.
in his word, because then it will take on a whole nother process in your body. Then when you start doing this other stuff, God go to work. They said that on the step, I'm a stepper, right? So then we get on the step floor, they say, go to work, steppers.
Mm-hmm.
So when I do what I'm supposed to do, I tell God, go to work, God.
Right.
Go to work.
Right. I totally understand. Now, look, we're getting close to the time that we have to get out of here for today. We only do an hour show. So what would you like to leave with the people on today?
What I came in with.
Mm-hmm.
Please, whatever holy book you cherish, know that those that received it through the inspiration of God that lives in all of us will give you the directions you need. And then understand how we operate in the earth realm, and give your body the necessary tools to heal itself. Eat right, think right, be right, and right things will happen.
Amen. All right. Well, you stay right there. Don't go anywhere. We're going to wrap up the end of the show. Going to give a couple of shout outs here. We've got red beans and brown rice tuning in to the show today. I hope you got something that was encouraging to you today. I want to invite people to go back over to my website, ask-dr-ron.com. When you get over there, browse the site, check out the Cash Crowdfund tab so you can get some information about generating capital. Fill out the contact card. Make sure we can keep you informed on the things that we have going on. Go over to my YouTube channel. Please subscribe. Subscribe. Go to the YouTube channel, like and share. Be sure and support all of my vendors. They make it possible for me to do what we do here on Facebook and on YouTube. Also, tell somebody about Dr. Sunni and all of the things that she's got coming up. If you want to know where she's going to be at, what Zoom link or her, because she ain't doing too many in-person things right now, but you definitely can reach out to her, 312-843-2566 and get a consultation, because that could be very life-changing, very life-changing. And that's what we need to do is take steps, going forward that we would make sure that we can guarantee some positive things about what's going on. I mean, yes, people of color right now with underlying conditions have been victimizing themselves by not improving their opportunities. So this is an opportunity to make a 360-degree turnaround, do something different than what you've done before. We see what you've been doing now, where it has gotten you. So now it's time to try something else and see, can we get some different results. I am so happy to have you on the show, Dr. Sunni. Thank you so very much. I knew it was going to be an adventure. You know,
You use some very creative words. I like
yeah,
it.
hey, I love it. I love it. I love it. I've been reaching out to Dr. Sunni every time I call her. I ain't got time for you right now. Every time I ain't got time for you right now. I ain't got time. 12 o'clock last night, she said, okay, now I got time for you. And I love it and I appreciate it. And look, and I stay just as calm and cool and collected because I did not want to make her say, I ain't going to do it. Okay. Because I knew it was going to be a blessing to the people that tune in and follow what we do here. Okay. And I am glad that she took time out of her busy schedule to fit us in. Because like she said, she teaches classes during the day. She does seminars at night. This is a very busy woman, and I am so glad that we were able to get her on the show today, especially right before Thanksgiving, because, y'all folks finna do some damage to yourselves even worse coming up in 2 days, okay?
Call me up for some cleansers and then detox. I'll be good. We're gonna be good. We're gonna be straight.
Yeah, look, these
But
folks gonna be out.
everybody need to take a brain break and just enjoy
Oh,
whatever
my
we
God.
have. There are so many people that don't have what we have.
Yeah,
So enjoy yourself. And when you get done, just call Dr. Sunni up.
there
I'll
you go.
straighten you out.
Dr. Sunni gonna get you straight, and I love it. I love it, and I appreciate you once again. I can't say it enough. We're going to bring you back. I tell people all the time that, this pandemic that's going on, we don't really know the whole story behind it, and I may not be alive when they decide to tell the story. But some of these people that are young, they're going to tell them like, oh, yeah, by the way, back in 2020, this is what the real deal was, and they're going to remember the conversation that we have now. Like, dang, Dr. Ron said that, that it was something else going on that they're not ready to tell us about, So I just pray that, I survived just like I'm like, my mom had it. My mom had corona. She was in the hospital, she never made it to a respirator, but she came out. She's on oxygen now, but she's still doing good. She's still alive. So I thank God for her still being here. And I thank God for all the people that took care of her. Okay. So I'm
Yes.
excited. that people are surviving this thing in more numbers than that are not. Okay. So look, we
Amen.
got to get out of here, y'all. Once again, go over to ask-dr-ron.com and check out everything that's on my website. If you want to be a guest on the show, reach out to me. If you want to be a vendor, reach out to me. We're more than happy to allow you to be a vendor. I would love to talk about you on each and every show. So reach out to me. All my information is over there. Like and share. Put this information out there so someone can be blessed by what we're talking about over here. So peace and love, y'all. Y'all stay blessed. Take care. See y'all next time.